Being by the sea, surfing. They say we have a type of landscape where we feel more at home, a place we can land and unravel, and there will be landscapes we enjoy more than others. Some will say it's being in the cold on the slopes with the snow. Some love the mountains. Others enjoy being by a river, and for some, they love the desert. Then there's being in the woodlands or forests, or, of course, for some, it's being by the sea and the ocean. We've been travelling through many types of landscapes that exist in Morocco, discovering the high Atlas mountains, going into the desert, but then the sea it called again. I mean, my ultimate landscape is a forest next to the sea, but I'll take the ocean and visits to the forest and woodlands. I tried living just in the woodlands back in Sussex, but I missed being by the sea, so the ocean takes priority. We meandered through the hills towards the sea. We took roads with 1-hour journeys taking 2-3 hours. Finding our way in Moroccan towns again enabled us to return to civilization after the desert in Mohammed. Of course, we had to let go of the peace and the space that we had found in the bivouac. Aiming for a colourful village right next to the sea, we paused after the principal town of Agadir in Tamrait. Well, then there was the sea, and then cafes and a skate park and children in vans, and it meant that we stayed for, well, a few days. In fact, we actually still haven't seen this colourful village. Suddenly our lungs filled with air and our hearts expanded towards the sea. Ali practically ran in his speedos for a swim. The children found shells and explored the rocks. Skating, beaching, skating, repeating. As we landed, my thoughts circled again to surfing, assessing again whether, is this something I really want to try? I met none of the criteria for being a surfer. Swimming, well, I do not do this well. With little strength in my arms, it's really all in my thighs. I do have very good thighs from a 1-speed bike in Margate. I'm approaching 40, so, not the youngest surfer. I've watched the videos from other surfer gals. I've seen the challenges many face when trying or wanting to try to surf. But I have been determined for years to be an outdoor surfing type, jealous of the surfer girls in their wetsuits and salty hair. Landlocked, I grew up in the Midlands, dreaming of the sea, observing the waves. They seemed perfect for beginners in Tamrait. They gently moved along the shoreline, crashing at knee level, and so, asking around for a lesson, I went for it. with a guy called Ali. I stood up repeatedly, falling into and under the waves for 2 hours, facing my worst fears of the sea, and I loved every second of my first 2-hour session. Afterwards, I ached in places I didn't know I could ache, but I did it. I lived it. I breathed in this moment that I dreamed of. None of this possible without selling everything to build this as our new reality. Tagazu was next on our list, so we moved on. I tried to surf again, on my own in Tamaraght, but I lacked confidence in the waves. Ali, my husband, not the surf instructor, agreeing they weren't probably as beginner-friendly as I first thought in Tamaraght. So, in Tagazu, when I saw that the waves were gentle and holding, I allowed my bleed to come and go before landing into more lessons. Between surfing, I am longboarding on the land. This has been a journey in itself. I could not stand on the board. I had a skateboard lesson 18 months ago, and I fell badly on a ramp. The bruise was ridiculous, and my confidence truly knocked. So when I knew I wanted to potentially commit to surfing, I bought a longboard in Portugal. My children promptly stole it, so I bought 2 more in Spain, also stolen by my children. So yesterday I bought another second-hand longboard in Morocco. Now, with all 4 of us exploring a new skill on the land, and me also in the water, there's a focus for our trip I never imagined could be our reality. Modelling for my children what it means to try something new at 37 will always be something I hold in my heart. Showing them there are new skills to learn will always bring me joy in parenting. Allowing them to witness me in my discomfort, learning, failing, learning and growing. That is what life is for me, and will always be. I will always strive to try something new, and I will always strive for more, never settling. I can but hope they will feel like they can work towards anything that they dream of. To see me struggle in the messy middle of it all is the key to unlocking their grit, I believe. They do not need school for developing their grit and determination. They need to witness parents prepared to move beyond their comfort zones to make dreams a reality.